I got onto the bus, and Malcolm has all the fucking pillows and blankets set up. Place looks like a fucking gay harem. And those two drivers are looking at me and him going, these two gigantic gay sumo wrestlers are gonna fuck each other the whole ride up to Canada. So months later, it was almost maybe a year later, shit, when the Southwest thing went down, I had a bunch of gigs to get to and shit, and I was just like, how am I gonna do it? And I was like, ooh, I can rent the prom bus again. But the prom bus cross country would be a very bumpy road and shit. And then I was just like, maybe I could just rent a bus, like the Partridge Family. You know, and just go from place to place. So I wound up renting a bus, like a rock star bus and shit. And then I fell in love with it, and so I bought it. And now I own a bus and shit. So as much as I hate Southwest Airlines, they actually put me into a bus. And now, like, they took me out of the sky and I roam the earth in a bus and shit. I feel like Bruce Banner from the old Hope TV show, you know? Whenever I get on the bus, you just hear dun 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 dun. And then I sit in the back, and the chair is very large and wide, and there's nobody ever on the bus who's like, you gotta buy another seat. So it all kind of worked out at the end of the day. But I don't know, I don't begrudge Southwest, but I do say that if you're like 200 pounds or more, just steer clear, man, because at any given moment, they could just yank you off the fucking plane, you know, and not even give you a good reason for it and shit. So if you're fat, if you're 200 pounds or more and you are going to fly Southwest, make sure you carry your Twitter with you at all times so that you can register your discomfort if something like that happens. But it wasn't all that bad at the end of the day. It was weird. The whole world at once was calling me fat, and that actually inured me for everything. Like any last kind of vestige of pride or dignity I had just went out the window and shit. So nothing anybody says at this point can hit me really very hard anymore, you know what I'm saying? Like when the whole, every magazine, every newspaper in the world felt licensed because in my tweets I kept calling myself fat, they felt like it was okay to call me fat in the headlines at every place, everywhere. Foreign headlines in Russia would be like, don't skin on the fat silent Bob, don't. Everywhere and shit. And when that happened, like, I don't know, at first it's the most horrifying thing in the world, but then you're like, oh wow, like I came out on the other end and shit like that. And then, at the end of the day, a bunch of people found out something that they already knew. You know, like that was news. Kevin Smith is fat. Everybody knew that. Yeah. It'd be news if they were like, Kevin Smith has a fucking 14-inch cock that he can suck himself. Thanks for hanging out though tonight, man. Thanks for coming up and chit-chatting. I like being here a lot, and thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for coming to Con yet again. We'll do it again in 2011. Try not to stab anybody in the eye on your way out. Thanks for being here. Good night.